There it is. Welcome to Roleplay Cafe. We are here with David and Todd and Dell, and I'm Jason, and we're going to get to Symbaroum, Session 5. Butcher of Blackmoor, I believe is the title of this. David is GMing us tonight, and I'll hand it over to him.
Okay. All right, so let's get it rolling then. There have been grisly murders occurring recently in the town of Blackmoor. Victims have been discovered with various organs removed, especially their eyes being the one thing in common. Rumors are on everyone's tongues. Perhaps the goblins of Karabadak are revolting. Is there some kind of plague from Davakar? Perhaps the worst rumor so far is that the infamous witch hunters have been seen in Thistlehold and are making their way to Blackmoor to find out what's going on. And if that happens, there'll be plenty of torture and other grisly things going on as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Baron Grafaldo's, his blood robe mercenaries who are stationed in Blackmoor are sticking their heads and swords in the back alleys and the shadows, upsetting the delicate backroom dealings of the town. And you guys is I think benefactor is the wrong word, so he would be more of a what will Reichel be?
Sponsor?
Kind of like a sponsor? Okay.
I call him our sponsor, but
that's probably
word from our sponsor.
He sponsors. He pays all of our overhead, right?
Yeah. So Reichel the Goblin, your goblin sponsor, he wants you guys to find out who or what is behind the murders, especially because for some reason another rumor is that that's going around is that people think that, like I said, the goblins may be behind it. And obviously that's a bad thing for business. So Reichel suggests that you guys start in an area known as the Knot. That's where the first victim was found. Ask around, see what you can find out. And the quicker you put a stop to this, the better.
Okay. In the location called the Knot, Knot.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. You sent us a picture of the map, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was on Discord.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me put it in here. Let me put it. Can I put it? Can I put it in the general chat here, Dell? Is that okay?
Should be able to.
Okay. I didn't want to. I don't want to clutter up.
Dell, you there?
I don't want to clutter up everything.
You might be able to even put it in the chat, right in here with us. You can upload a file in the chat.
Oh, I
right
can put it
us.
in the.
Yep.
Yeah, just add it here. Yep.
So at the top right is a little chat box in Discord, and then it'll open up, and you can actually hit the plus sign and upload a file, I think.
Let me see here. I see it. Show chat. Okay, gotcha. Wow, okay. I didn't
So that might work.
I didn't know that was a thing. Okay. All right, so let me close this window. Let me open this one or get this one wider. Okay, and let me try that. So I will put
Of course, it may not be big enough,
here.
but that would be cool.
Okay.
Oh, sweet.
And then you can click on it. You can click on it and
that'll
it
work.
gets huge, I think. So
where is it?
or can you click on it?
Yeah, I did, and it's so you can see it on I can see it on mine anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
On general.
No, okay, so hang on.
No, it's actually in our video. So if you're in the Roleplay streaming channel, at the top right of Discord is a little chat balloon. If you click that, it'll open up, and you can see where you can chat. You can actually send messages inside our video chat.
Hang on, let's see. I'll put it over there too, so that.
Oh, okay. Now,
Okay, so there it's in the general.
Now
okay.
I see. Now I see. So,
okay, all right. So it's in two spots.
So where is the Knot?
Okay,
it's not on this map.
I got it now.
Yeah, I didn't put it on there. The Knot would be in the vicinity of the Bleach Skull Tavern, which is number 7.
Ooh. Bleach Skull Tavern. Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I see
So
that.
right
Sure.
here. All right.
So it's
Okay.
right around there.
Near.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I can handle that. We can do that.
All right.
So I suppose then we should head that direction, huh, gentlemen? I will leave my. I have a sword and a. Let me see. What am I carrying here?
You have your halberd.
Let's
or
see.
spear
I have
or-
a dagger and a sword. Yeah, I'll carry my pike with me. It seems like kind of a pain to drag the pike through town, but I will. I'll carry it with me just in case.
Okay. All right. And Todd, what are you dragging around with you?
Jeez, I'm looking at this character. She doesn't really show much. Wait a minute.
All right, take time.
I've got a dagger, woven silk armor, and
Nice.
I got a hand axe. Okay.
Okay.
Got a hand axe.
All right.
All right. Well, I'll get out of Rigel's vicinity as soon as possible. I don't really like Rigel a whole lot, so I'll take his orders, and then I'll get out of the tent quickly and start walking through the streets to the knot. Hopefully, Shig's with us. I don't know where Shig's at.
Bill, you there?
Shig is, yeah. He's yeah, you know how he does. He stays just outside of your, your reach in the corner of the shadows and whatnot. He's busily trying to recollect, little lights and leeches and whatnot since he got slapped around last time.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Ogre.
He got troll smacked.
He's harvesting. In the muck and the refuse. That's
Oh
what he's
God!
doing.
Put the shit down, Shig. We've got work to do.
Shig a leg. Yeah.
All right. So we've got Shay, we've got Taro, and then we've got
Caballo.
Balo. Okay. All right. Good enough. Okay. Alrighty. So yeah. So you guys head towards the knot. And as you guys are kind of walking through the muddied streets of Blackmoor, there's I guess like a low kind of like mist or fog that's rolling through, which seems to always just kind of hang on above the town all the time for some odd reason.
Okay.
I'll say it's maybe late morning. You guys, of course, as you're walking, you guys see the other residents of this growing town. It's kind of like a, I guess we could consider it to be kind of like a one of those gold rush, towns. Right. It's really the population's really exploding. There are quite a few more permanent structures here now, but there's still like temporary things kind of interspersed. No formal paved streets in most of the area. There's an area where there's more where more of the wealthier merchants have kind of settled in, and claim their stake.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, those areas seem to be getting the most of the attention. The streets are maybe more cobblestoned. More of this, the watch seems to navigate those areas more so than any of the others. The usual. Money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the squeaky wheel. That gets all the grease.
Money gets. Yeah. Listen, there's always hierarchy, my friend.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you guys as you guys walk, you guys see what we would consider to be typical establishments. There's different people hawking their wares. See different types of smiths or smithies. A lot of things are like open air, you know. So yeah, so it's pretty as far as that goes. It's a functioning town. But you guys are very much aware that the backbone or this Blackmoor was built upon basically being maybe not lawless, but a lot more accommodating than its nearest neighbor, which would be Thistle. What's it called?
Thistlehold?
Thistlehold, yes, thank you. Thistlehold,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, do we know roughly when these murders started?
Yes, the furthest one was maybe 2 weeks ago, or a fortnight, I guess we would say at the most.
Okay.
Murder's nothing new here.
No.
But apparently when the wrong persons start getting murdered, then it's a problem.
Okay.
So apparently because of Rigel, number one, the rumors that goblins may be behind it, and number two, apparently you guys, I will tell you guys, you also have heard that one of the previous high priest of Prius was a victim.
Oh.
And that's one of the reasons that they're thinking that the witch hunters, or maybe even, you know, who knows, any other clergy may show up, and that wouldn't be good at all.
Right. Now,
that would really be bad.
Would he be the highest profile murder victim thus far?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, at this point, yes.
So we would have heard these rumors for sure. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Is this the priest that I brought, that you and Malleus and Taro brought back?
Ooh. You know what? Let's say yes.
Okay.
If I could give you a
good
point
riddance,
or luck point, or
Taro, when Taro heard the news, you said good riddance.
Yeah, it sure would be. Yep, sure would be.
He was an evil bastard anyway.
And he had no love at all for Blackmoor.
Right.
The priest that has taken his place seems to be much more of a humanitarian. And actually seems to be trying to help the downtrodden of this place, which, you know, some people like that.
Is a lost cause.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you guys, by the time you guys walk around the corner, up the streets, and, you know, down the streets, your feet are basically covered to your mid shins in, you know, mud. You guys pass up you guys would pass up the Bleached Skull Tavern, and that's kind of the what would be considered the landmark to let you know that you are entering the knot itself.
Okay.
And they call it the knot because it's basically just a bunch of intermingled streets and alleyways, you know, that just go, you know, willy-nilly.
Yeah.
And it's known that because it's hard to navigate, that of course a lot of wheeling and dealing and, you know, not so good stuff happens around here too.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So I will keep my wits about me, hand on my hilt of my short sword. Now that we're in this, I'm assuming it's a little more a little more tight knit, a little, and we're looking for a particular person, or we're investigating the crime scene. I'm not certain where in the knot we're going.
Yeah, and that's my mistake. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I just didn't know.
Well,
You guys, since that was where the last murder occurred,
Gotcha.
Rigel suggests that you go there and maybe ask around to see if you can find out any kind of information about it, and that will at least be a start for you guys.
Okay.
To
At
maybe
the
lead you
murder
somewhere
scene?
else. Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just so you guys know, this isn't gonna be, you know, I know we're not Sherlock Holmes here, so, you know, have no fear. We'll keep it. You know.
Hey, whoa! Speak for yourself. I might be Sherlock
Well, I'm
Holmes.
just saying, you guys, you know, everyone doesn't like murder mysteries, so. So I'll make it. I'll keep it interesting for sure for you guys. So,
Oh
yeah.
no,
So
I
you
have
guys,
no fear. We're gonna have great fun. Period. Yeah.
you guys see the establishment there, and there's a faded, weather-beaten placard, that's kind of swinging in the breeze. You see, of course, it's a grinning white skull, on the placard, and it's kind of, you hear it squeaking, as it kind of goes to and fro in the wind. And you guys see that there's the typical ne'er-do-wells kind of hanging out front, and you guys can hear kind of voices coming from within it's got the typical kind of like saloon doors,
Right.
You guys hear kind of rambunctious voices and laughter coming from inside, spilling out into the street. Okay.
And this is the scene of the murder.
Yes, you see that there's a on the side of the bleached skull, the exterior wall. You guys see that there is a kind of like a sad-looking attempt at a bouquet of flowers.
Ooh, gotcha.
That is sitting there,
Gotcha.
in a kind of like in a earthenware kind of like jug of sorts.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll head over to this memorial, temporary memorial, and do I reckon I'll try to recognize if there's evidence, of course, of blood here, or of whether the jug itself is recognizable, the type of jug, if it's something that's normal to the area.
Okay. Okay. So Taro heads over there to do a little snooping.
Yep.
Kind of look over there, and Caballo, what's Caballo doing?
I'm just gonna keep an eye on my friend there. Make sure that no one's going to do anything untoward him.
Okay. You see, just generally speaking, the hooligans that are kind of hanging out front are definitely giving you guys the eye. They're sizing you up for sure.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I will puff my chest up just so I make myself a little more intimidating as much as I can, because Caballo is not really all that intimidating.
Now,
He's peeking.
Now, would in Caballo's his day-to-day operations, so to speak, would he have any reason to kind of frequent any of these establishments like this, or does he pretty much kind of keep his nose clean, so to speak? Or what
I don't think he keeps his nose clean at all. No.
Okay. No. All right. So roll me 1d6 if you want, or if you can rather, and we'll say well, tell me what you get. And Del, while he's doing that, what's Shig up to?
Okay, Shig's part of the dregs of the society. This is where he hails from. The back alleys is where he came from, right? Living in the refuge.
Yeah.
So he's around the corner. He didn't go inside there. He's around the corner urinating on the side of the building and looking for anyone leaning on the outside. Kind of words, trainers, rapscallions, whatever he can think. Anybody he notices.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you can also roll me a d6. So Todd, what'd you get?
I got a 3.
Okay. All right. So
I got a 5.
Okay. All right. So Shig, you don't, as you're taking care of business, urinating on the side of the Bleached Skull Tavern, you kind of gave those guys over there the once over, and you didn't see anybody that you recognized. Okay. But Caballo, with your 3, you definitely recognize one of them. But you can't quite put your finger on where, but you do recognize them.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I have a good feeling about this person, or?
Well, when you say good feeling, what is that? What are you asking
Well,
me?
I mean, should I be walking up with open arms, going "friend," or should I be turning my back quickly and trying to hide the crowd?
Give me another sixer.
Another 3.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, you have had positive dealings with this guy, but you're pretty sure you owe him some money.
I am positive that I owe him some money.
Pretty sure you do. Yep.
I see. Okay.
So he hasn't
he hasn't noticed me yet.
Yeah, he hasn't put 2 and 2 together yet.
Okay,
yet.
That's fine. I will throw up my hood and kind of turn my face away from him a bit. So
okay, all right. Okay. So you see, as you throw your hood up, you see he one of the guys that's standing next to him, arms folded, kind of leans over to him and starts whispering to him as they're looking. Okay. All right. Okay, Jason.
Yeah.
All right. So Taro gets over there. You see that it's just a really nondescript, kind of like water vessel, that's low quality, a throwaway thing. The craftsmanship's just, nothing even to you take another look at.
Right.
There's some the flowers in there are kind of like field flowers,
Okay.
Something that somebody just picked from.
So this looks like poor.
Area.
I mean, somebody poor put this here.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And as you look up from the memorial, you see that the wall that you're looking at, the blood splatter is just like amazing.
Okay.
It's whatever happened was just brutal.
And so enough blood spatter that they probably got covered in blood, of course.
Yeah.
I would assume
it looks like
okay, maybe happened at night. Was this reported that?
Yes, you guys do know that. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And it looks like somebody half-heartedly tried to, like, with a wet,
Clean it up.
rag or something, tried to wipe it up, and they
Okay.
just smeared it all.
Okay.
They said screw it too much.
Wow. Okay.
And walked away.
Do I know where they would have taken the remains of this body?
Yes, you have an idea that they would have taken it to the Temple of Prios.
Okay. So I'm going to make a mental note of that. We may have to head there to examine the body. Taro's a ranger, a hunter. He might just be self-deluded enough to think he can, figure this out.
He's a competent guy.
He might be just deluded enough to think. I've seen a lot of dead wolves. I've seen a lot of dead.
Yeah.
Right? He thinks he might know how to figure this out. Right?
Yeah.
So, either way, he's taking it very seriously. Taro's, furrowed brow, digging in the mud, rooting through the. I might even tip the jug of flowers up and turn it and set it down. At some point, though, I know I'm going to have to speak to somebody, a potential witness or something, right?
Well, so far you guys are actually doing good. You guys are asking stuff. You guys are looking around. The world's moving around you, so you guys are moving and grooving. I would say that. Well, yeah. I mean, depending upon how things go, if you guys feel confident in trying to maybe talk to somebody about something, sure, that's your prerogative. You guys can go for it. We'll kind of see where it goes. I will say that you can give me a, let's see here. You guys can, rather, Jason, you can give me a, you can give me a cunning roll.
Cunning? My cunning is a 9.
Okay. And we're going to need... what will we use? We're going to use a... we'll go 8 with that.
Okay, so -1 modifier.
-1. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, that's no problem. 12.
Okay. All right. Okay. You see on the bottom of that vase or pot or whatever. We'll say that you see a kind of like a crafter's kind of stamp or whatever, on there.
Okay.
Kind of like if when the vase was still soft, they used the
a claim, a mark of the vendor or the artist. Yeah, I'll note it. Obviously, I'm assuming it's pretty old, so it could have been passed around or right.
Maybe. Yeah,
okay, but I'll make a note of the mark. I'll even tip the water out and the flowers out on the ground and show the mark to Kabbalah.
Okay.
Caballo.
Okay. Okay. So just remind me, where did you get this?
It was the memorial. It was a makeshift memorial where they murdered the high priest, Prios.
Okay.
No. I'm sorry. The latest victim. The latest victim was not the high priest, or was it?
No.
He was just the most pronounced victim. But the latest victim, somebody left this, flowers and a memorial here, and I picked it up. I just desecrated it and showing you the vase, the bottom of the vase.
Okay. Well, I'm not too impressed that you desecrated this memorial, as Caballo is somewhat religious.
Oh, he is somewhat religious. Okay.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yes.
So if I see that on your face, I might remark, what is it? Do you know the vase? Do you know the manufacturer?
I don't know.
Terrell's completely oblivious to your religious. That you would that would bother you that I would pick up this makeshift memorial.
I know my religions, but I don't know my pot makers. So
yeah, I wouldn't think. Yes. I wouldn't think you would. No.
No. Okay.
Yeah, you don't have any. There's nothing to indicate that you're a crafty type of guy there. So I would say no.
Shig, where is Shig? And I'll turn around with the pot looking for Shig.
Okay.
Surely he must know.
Waving it around. Shig, come here. Is this goblin make?
Oh, well, Shig is making his way around the external part of the building, looking for any signs, any tracks, and anyone to speak with in the shadows.
There's tracks, there's footprints in the mud all over the place, this off of this main street here. So
I'm using which side as I go around into the darker and see if I can see any kind of tendrils of ethereal effervescence.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let's see. I would say that yes. So you're picking up a little bit of temporary corruption for the scene when you do that, and I would say that as you buttoned your trousers back up after you finished up and you start looking around, that yes, as you're moving towards where Taro and Caballo are, you see that on the blood stain on the exterior wall of the tavern, that intermingled with that blood, you do see some signs of, I guess would be like what, chaos or corruption.
Okay. You said it's splattered on the external wall, right?
Yeah, it's just the side of the wall. Yeah, of the building. Yeah, it's a raggedy. Well, not. Yeah, it's not raggedy, but it's a beaten up wooden structure, single story structure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's an isolated area where it's like a blood splat, but there's no. I look both ways.
Yeah, you guys are right off the main street, kind of like it's not really an alleyway, but it's kind of like a side, kind of like a side little alcove type, area.
Okay.
Okay, I take a sample of it, of course, and on my finger and smidgen on my clothes, a tunic, and then walk around to the front and see what I can see and hear inside. Oh, okay. About this time I may hear him call for me.
Okay, so you pass up Taro and Caballo as they're kind of talking, and you see Taro has the pot or the vase or whatever you want to call it in his hands.
No,
You know,
no thanks. I already went.
he's, they're kind of talking.
I walk over and spit into it.
And,
No, the marking, the artist's mark on the bottom. Is this goblin? Is this of goblin make?
I'll look up at you queerly to the side. It's no.
Okay, so
such things.
Shig has decided no, it's not of goblin.
So I'll drop it there in the mud where it was among its flowers and and the water I just poured out. I'm at a loss. We will have to ask some questions. And I'll nod in the direction of these hoodlums that are eyeballing us, right? I'm sure they're still watching us closely.
Yeah, there's 3 guys over there, and you see that they're like there's a awning, I guess, for lack of a better word, that's over the front of the tavern, and they're now leaning on the posts of the awning a little bit closer to you guys. Seems like they're kind of trying to listen in on what you guys are, So, and they're not making it. They're not making it. They're being very obvious about it.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I will hike up the sash of my belt and saunter over to them.
Oh, okay.
What ho! I will say to them. What do you know of these events that have occurred here today with the death of this person? What can you tell us?
Ooh, okay, all right.
And maybe I will try persuasive or cunning.
Hang on 1 second. Let's see.
Try running.
What's that?
I said you might try running.
Running. No, that was cunning. That was cunning. Cunning.
It would be persuasive.
Yes.
But hang on. What do you give me some input here? What do you you just saying, hey, what do you guys know about that last murder? Is pretty much that's.
I want to see if they've seen anything. If they're like, what have they seen? What have they heard?
Okay.
Rumors. Anything.
Okay. So you
I'll stay close behind Caballo with making it clear. I'll pull my cloak away from my short sword and tap my pike that's on my back. Basically lending a little intimidation by being right behind Caballo. He may not know that I'm right behind Caballo, kind of helping, but right. I want them to see he's not alone. Caballo is not alone.
Okay. Okay. The one who you kind of Caballo recognized, Todd. He's like maybe middle-aged, roughly, as kind of a scruffy beard. You see these guys are they're not armored at all. They've just got on clothing. But you do see that all 3 of them have long daggers, on their sides, which is kind of typical. Nothing odd about that. He kind of unfolds his arms and kind of walks out to kind of meet you before you get on the steps leading up to the establishment,
Right.
And he while he makes eye contact with Caballo, he points in Shig's direction. And he says, you and your filthy goblin murderer friend, you ain't welcome around here.
What? This is a fine goblin, all right? I mean, please, look at him. Look at him.
Shig's over there picking his nose. And he looks all the more worse to wear since he would slap down. A lot of his bones are like, at odd angles inside of his body, and have little protrusions. He's got a gait to his walk now. He's
turning quickly towards Taro. Might I draw your attention to my other friend? As a fine upstanding citizen here.
Yeah,
yes.
I'll step up. Listen, friend, I have no love for goblins either. We will be out of your hair
I perk up
shortly.
my ear to that.
I have no love for goblins, but all we want is a little information. What is your name, sir? I am Taro.
Okay, he says my name is Abel.
Abel. That's a fine name, Abel. What do you know of the victim here that was murdered last night or the night before? What do you know of that?
He hesitates and kind of gives you guys the once over again, kind of mulling over whether or not he should even be talking to you, and he kind of looks over his shoulder at the other two guys, and they kind of they were leaning, they kind of straighten up and kind of walk a little bit closer, and he turns and he shrugs, and he's basically speaking to both of you guys, and he shrugs and he says, I don't know, and kind of gets a wry smile, comes over his face, and then Caballo, he looks at you, looks your way, and says, what's it worth to you?
Ah, so some Thaler will loosen your tongue.
Always, friend, always.
So
Shillings, more like.
So I'll dig out a couple of Thaler,
Okay.
3. I'll say
Okay.
a Thaler for all 3 of you, 1 each, because it's in your best interest. It is in all of our best interest. We do not want the witch hunters or the blood robes here, do we, my friends? Hadn't you rather have Blackmoor? Hadn't you rather have Blackmoor individuals take care of this?
He nods at that, and he says, "You make a good point. You make a good point." He says, "The last murder," and he kind of nods his head towards the area, where the blood is. He says it was a poor sod by the name of Heinrich. He was he was one of the mill laborers. He wasn't doing nothing to nobody, just making his way from the tavern here after having one too many, after a hard, long day's work. And next thing I know, from what I understand, somebody heard his scream, and once somebody figured to come out here and take a look and see what was going on, they found the poor bastard, lying in a puddle of his own blood.
That fast?
Eyes gone.
Just as a side, while he was talking with them, I wanted to. I know it's midday, but it's gloomy around there, and the fog is hanging there. And I'm used to this area, so I want to slip myself around and get in a flanking position. I'll only move whenever I notice that they're
Flanking at Abel or towards the other.
How far are the other two? I want to.
They're within like about 10 feet. They're keeping respectfully back. But they can kind of hear what's being said, though.
Yeah, I mean, I want to get behind them to make sure that they're
behind them. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If I can.
That's fine. Okay, you can make your way around them. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Abel finishes up, and he says, nobody, once they rolled him over and saw his eyes were gone, nobody wanted to touch him after that, because nobody wants to get any kind of curse from Davakar around here or nothing.
So you did not see strangers follow him out? You did not see strangers about?
He says, no, not that late at night. There's always 1 or 2 people roaming the streets. You just have to be smart enough to know when you shouldn't be roaming around the streets with them.
This Heinrich was just a laborer. He had no enemies?
He shrugged and says, not that I know of. I didn't know him personally. I just knew him as a unlucky one.
I'll flip him the Thaler, and then I'll thumb flip Thalers to the other 2 guys.
Okay. All right. They catch him out of the air as you flip him and nod. And the other two immediately turn. And then one of them notices Shig standing there. And Shig, he kind of gets a loogie up and lands it near your feet. And then they both walk inside of the bleached skull. And Abel, he turns to follow him, and then he stops and he says, what are you guys? You guys, who's paying you to stick your noses in spots where it may not belong?
Rigel.
Oh, okay. His eyebrow raises at that and says, what's that little son of a bitch got you nosing around for? How come he ain't out here with you?
Because he doesn't want the blood robes and the witch hunters in Blackmoor. I would think none of us want that.
All right. Okay.
I've leaned over and scraped up the loogie, and I'm looking at it, holding it in between my fingers, and I'll sling it back and throw it at him with a curse.
Okay. All right.
My friend, do you have to do that every time?
I know. Okay. All right. So you flip it and it flies in the doorway. Abel kind of looks at you.
I'm blessing the threshold.
Abel kind of scowls at you, and he walks in, and you hear him yell, so and so, give me a mug, a fresh mug, and you hear laughter and the clinking of dishes as the door swings shut behind him.
I think, gentlemen, our only option is to investigate the body itself.
Yes, I agree.
Caballo, it is in your...
Where's the body?
It will be in the temple of Prios. Caballo, that might be your... That is your domain, is it not?
I am a pious man. Maybe not worthy to walk within such sanctified halls, but I will attempt it.
So
you are every bit as holy as the holiest, Caballo. Especially in this company.
Perhaps you're right.
Would you say that he would mayhap give donations to the temple on occasion, or frequent maybe on occasion?
I think he's more talk than he is actual action on this.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
So he's like all of those guys.
So from a distance, he's a.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I walk a path, one more with less discriminating taste. Then I scamper off toward the temple.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So you guys make your way towards the Temple of Prios.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm taking the back alleys and trying any shortcut I can.
Okay, so is
where
your
did he
intent?
go?
Yeah, right. Is your intent to get there before them, Dell, or what are you? Or is that just the way you go?
Well, yeah, he dissatisfied me when he was speaking like that, so I don't want to be around him in his companies. You know what I mean? So I'm used to the back alleys anyway, the dirt and the filth. So I took it as a slight toward me when he said that. So I'm just getting away from him for a little bit.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's see.
Shig is a sensitive creature.
Yeah, he's something. I don't know
Yes.
what it is, but he's something.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So as Shig's navigating the back ways, there's nothing that he really sees that's out of place. The typical hubbub of the town is things are going as normal. I will say though that you do notice that there seems to be more of a you see more of the basically the town guard seem to be out and mingling with.
Hmm? Yeah, I'm keeping a low profile because he already said the goblin murderer. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking I'm used to kind of keeping out of sight, and earshot if I can within the city. But I'm especially doing it now, so I'm keeping sight.
And also, you see that also out and about are the blood robes, and those are like the kind of more they're mercenaries basically. Okay, so they're a level or a step above. Well, they're mercenaries, so they're fighting men.
Right.
And they seem to be they have a reputation for being a lot more brutish and hard-nosed than even the town guard,
Right.
So as you moving, Shig, you kind of see them kind of roughing up, a few people and not being discreet about it at all, they're probably trying to figure some things out just like you guys are, but their methods are totally different. Okay. So they're hammers in the glass
right
top, So
bulls
so
are changed out.
Yeah, thank you. So Shig, you arrive at the temple a little bit before Taro and Caballo, and you see. As you arrive there, you see Father Abe, who is the newer priest here. He is actually standing out front with a couple of acolytes, and you see that they are passing out, it looks like bowls and bread to a small crowd of transients, it looks like, or poor, that are there, and you see that Father Abe is kind of proselytizing, I believe is the word. He's preaching.
Proselytizing. Yeah.
He's preaching.
I do not want to be in some of this, but while they're coming up, I want to scan this a little bit, and I'll sneer a little bit because they're of the same ilk that this Kabbalah guy is, But anyway, and if I can turn the eye back on them instead of me and my goblin kin, who's obviously being targeted at this, I'm scanning the crowd as well as them, because obviously one of them is guilty with which.
Oh, obviously, okay.
With the blood in comparison, you know what I mean?
Okay.
As far as from the corruption.
Okay, all right. Well, you okay. So I guess this would technically be a new scene. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So, all right.
I ride that corruption like a wave.
So, as you kind of give them the eye, you see that there are shadows, I guess you would say, right? They're kind of a white with a reddish kind of like tinge to them, like swirl, that's going through. And with the people that are there, the needy that are there, there's nothing that really stands out to
yeah, I'm looking for the sample I took. I'm looking for its match. Yes.
No, okay. No, you don't see any, which is a unusual way of doing things, but I like it. But no, you don't see any at this point. You don't see any match, not yet.
Yeah, that's fine. I kind of just hit some lapel a little bit, and saintliness or goodness or whatever like that. As I.
Well, it's all relative, So yeah.
Yeah. A little. So they're the ones who abhor corruption, and me, I'm getting a step closer to it every day. So Yeah,
it's a different kind
my
of corruption for
substance.
them.
Exactly. So I just sit there and I'm just waiting to touch base with them when they get there. But,
Okay, so you said you're kind of staying back though. You're not.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm behind barrels and you know.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you see your two companions walking up the path, okay, as they come up the bend, and you guys still see what I described to Dell. You see Father Abe. He's passing out basically like bread, and it looks like probably some type of watery thin soup, to the needy.
Right.
And you see as they grab the offering, his voice rises and he yells out the glories of Prios, the Sun Father, to them, and touches them on their foreheads, and they kind of either bow or curtsy, and as after that happens, they kind of walk off to the side as his acolytes kind of steer them off to the side, still kind of talking to them, and tending to any kind of other needs that they may have. And then some of them kind of go off to the side where there are wooden benches there, and they sit down and they begin to eat their food. So there's all ages. There's older, there's middle aged, and of course there's children here too. And there's like maybe roughly about maybe 15 to 20 individuals. So it's a small crowd.
Right.
The temple itself, temple is a grandiose word for it. It's a simple structure. There is it's a low domed structure with let's see if I can find it. The sun symbol. I'm just putting everything in general so everybody can see it, Jason, just so you know.
Sure.
So you see it's got the sun symbol of Prios, which is also the medallions that the clergy are wearing. And they are made, of course, of precious metal,
Yeah.
Yeah. And you see that there's a symbol actually on the dome of the temple, and you see it glitters, amazingly, even though it's overcast.
Right.
It still kind of glitters. Okay, so you guys approach. Okay, so what did you guys want to do?
Cabello, I'll let you.
Yes. The clergymen.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Two young gentlemen. Barely, you wouldn't call them quite boys anymore, but very young.
Right. Okay.
Very pure.
Maybe they're not really priests as much as acolytes.
Yes, correct. Yes.
I see.
Mm-hmm. They have the typical, I guess it would be kind of like the bowl, the bowl haircut,
Sure.
Robes with the thick rope kind of like around the robes, and sandaled feet.
We call that haircut the mo.
The mo. The mo haircut with the friar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Friar top. Yeah.
The mo with a little off the top, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I will ask. No, seriously though, I will ask these two gentlemen. I will greet them and maybe give them the salutations of this this religion, and I'm sure I know a few.
Mm-hmm. A priest be with you is fine. Okay, they nod.
A priest be with you, yes. Mm-hmm. And yes, of course, yes. Priest be with you. That's what I'm going to say. Yes, and hedge my bets. Yeah, so I will just ask them if they have heard of the recent murder of the high priest of Prius.
Oh yes, they one of the lads, his face immediately goes dark, so to speak. His brows furrow, and he I guess puts up like a award, kind of like a warding of sorts with one hand. And he says yes. He
Crosses
says yes.
himself.
Pretty much, yeah. He says yes. Most foul and unfortunate event, unimaginable that such a thing could happen to one so what's the word I want to use? Pious. Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
He says, why do you ask?
These are the questions that only Prios knows the answers to. But is there anything that my associates and I are investigating this foul deed in the hopes of finding the perpetrator of it and bringing them to justice?
He kind of turns and he says, does Father Abe know of this?
Of course he does. Yes.
Okay. He turns to you with his hands, clasped in front of him. He says, "Is there anything I can do to help?"
Yes. You can tell us anything you might know that could help us in our investigation.
He hesitates a moment and he shrugs and he says, we had known that unfortunately, as things do occur in Blackmoor, from time to time, individuals meet untimely ends. Some by natural causes, and some by more unnatural causes. It's nothing new here, unfortunately. And being so close to Davakar, says occasionally stranger things may occur, but as of late, we've had many of the poor unfortunates of this town meet untimely ends, and some of them, he kind of spreads his hands and says some of them have never been found. The same, unfortunately, that can be said about Father Rentala, who was the victim. He shakes his head, he kind of looks down, shaking his head, and he says, we never even found his body.
They took his...
So
you don't know if he is a victim of the same... So we do not know if he is a victim of the same butcher of Blackmoor.
He says there is no other explanation for it. Father Rentala would not just vanish like that. It's unheard of.
No. These are
he had his own way of expressing his love for the poor souls of this town. And some say he didn't want to be here, but he served, some may say in frustration, and he makes another but
forgive him.
yes, but he says with determination and resolve we all serve Prios, and Father Rentala was a prime example of that.
So there is some sense that he may have just run away, that he was not a victim at all.
He shakes his head and says, no, we have reason to believe that there was foul play. There are some who said that they heard his screams, and when those went to when an investigation was done, there was signs of a struggle there, and signs that it was Father Rentala, but nobody.
And
he kind of leans in.
Father Abe here has stepped into his responsibilities.
Yes. He says Father Abe was a lesser priest here at the time of Father Rentala, and but Father Abe and Father Rentala did not see they did not see eye to eye on which was the proper way to serve the people of this town, the lesser fortunate. Father Rentala was much more stringent, can we say, in showing his love. Tough love, maybe some might say.
Right.
Whereas he kind of waves a hand towards Father Abe and he says, you know, there's the shepherd with his sheep. Father Rentala was more like the
right
the wolf around the sheep.
Right. So he, in other words, Father Rentala may have had many enemies.
Yeah, he says a man of his position, he says there are always those that, you know, so he kind of shrugs. Yes, possibly.
Well, we were under the assumption you might have the body of the latest victim here.
Oh, he nods and he says, but you would have to talk to he says, well no, he says, you said that Father Abe, you're working under his direction. Isn't that what you taught me?
Kabbalah? Is that what you said?
Kabbalah?
I'm sorry, what? Sorry, what?
Did
what?
you said you told me you said you were working under Father Abe's direction, correct?
Yes, I did. Yes.
He says, okay. He says, then I see no problem with showing you the deceased. He says, this way.
Of course.
Okay, so he starts walking towards the temple entrance. Okay, so Shig sees the two guys start leaving with one of the acolytes. So is he going to sit tight, or what do you want to do? Because we know if you go on holy ground, you might implode or something. So what do you want to do? You're muted, Del. You're muted.
I was trying to unmute it, wouldn't respond to me. But what I was listening to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Shig's been now a lot of the goblins around this area. We've always been, kind of outcast, obviously, right? And there's not that many that isn't, in the mines or whatever that were like me. So with your permission, I say we have kind of hobo like signs and symbols or whatnot like that to kind of instruct each other. But ever since somebody suggested that murderous goblin, I'm wondering if something's being done to target us or who it may be of any of my previous comrades. So I am with a little excrement. I'm leaving my own sign right now, but I've already left that area. I'm privy to any of that and walking around. I'm looking fast for any kind of sign or symbol of any goblin that is there that may lend me some information about what's going on here, because I'm going to speak with a goblin around here.
Okay.
Get
All right.
contact.
Well,
Okay.
you know that in the area where the mill is located, because that's one of the prime
Workhouses.
Well, yeah, I mean that's one of the main ways that money is made here in Blackmoor, is basically milling, cutting down the trees of Davakar or Davakar, the fringes of Davakar, and exporting lumber to basically wherever, within the region. That's one of the ways they make a lot of money here, or make money here. So there are a lot of goblin laborers there doing that. Okay. Some of them are used to process the lumber here in the town. Others actually go out to mills, out in the wilderness, in order to do the work out there, which is a lot more dangerous. But you do know that your best bet of speaking to another goblin would be to speak to one of the other laborers. And you also know that Heinrich was a laborer at the mill here in town as well.
Okay. Yeah. And one of the other guys, obviously, he was there. So that's I want to make my way in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not necessarily staying with my comrades, but they can follow the trail. I'll leave a scent for them.
Okay.
I'll crop dust my way.
Okay. All right. So so you're just basically trying to get a goblin's perspective on what's been going on here. That's pretty much
Yeah, because I've been out of the city for a while.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
Something's rotten. And you know, this isn't Denmark, but it's still rotten.
Okay. 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 All right. So you will head there. All right. So let me go back to the other two guys. And the acolyte takes you into the temple itself, and you guys go basically down into I wouldn't exactly call them like catacombs, but there's a lower area where you immediately feel the temperature. You know, it's a lot cooler, and there seem to be like I don't know. I'll call them like maybe just like temporary like catacombs, so to speak, where they will have the bodies stored until they can intern them and decide what they're gonna do. So he lights a torch and takes you guys down some winding stairs and down some carving out of the stone corridors and in front of a door, and he says this is where the deceased lay until they can be interred into so they will be prepared to meet Prios in his glory. He says please be respectful, and I will return shortly to guide you back out. And he puts the torch in the sconce there, you know, lights another one, and then he makes his way. You see him travel back down the corridor.
Okay.
So everything's pretty quiet here.
Any other bodies? I mean, it's got its own private room, this body?
You guys haven't gone in yet. It's just the one door, so you don't know yet. You guys haven't gone in the chamber yet.
Yeah, I'll push the door open at least.
Okay. All right.
I will have my weapon at the ready.
I'll pull the torch.
Why's that, Todd? Okay.
I'll pull the torch out of the sconce that he just set it up. And so I'll lead into the room with the torch so we have light. I'll look around if there's any torches in here and light a torch in here so we have some light.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
And then set this out.
Okay.
I'll look at Caballo. What do you know about corpses, Caballo? More than I
dead. They're dead.
They are indeed dead.
Yes, that is the extent of my knowledge on these things.
Yes.
But sometimes they can come back. Yes.
With that, Taro raises an eyebrow. That's you are always a pleasure, Caballo, to I will take 2 steps over, give it a wide berth just in case, right? I will identify that it's missing its eyes, so I know that at least it is the victim.
Yeah, you see that there's this is a circular chamber. Okay. And you see that there are it's basically like shelves that have been kind of like carved into the walls.
Right.
Okay. And there are about maybe 3 or 4 different like ledges that have been or crank nooks, you know. And you see that there are bodies, not in every one, but there's about like you see a handful. Okay. And some of them are in worse shape than others. Okay. Some of them have actually been like not quite mummified, but you see that they've been like wrapped in like gauze and you know, things of that nature. So but yes, you do see Heinrich that's lying there, eyes gone. On one of the nooks, I should say.
I'll pull
Nude.
his I'll reach out, grab his chin, and pull his mouth open and inspect to see if he has a tongue.
Yes, he does have his tongue. Yes.
Okay. Any other wounds on his body and that appear to be?
Yeah,
they haven't. I mean, as if he's had organs removed or.
You see that there is a horrible looking wound at basically almost separated his arm from his body at the shoulder. Kind of cut
well,
down.
Definitely. As a ranger, I'm gonna see if I can identify this. Is it a blade or a claw? Was it rended in his eyes? Did it look like they were removed with a tool, or were they removed violently? So I'm looking to see if this is like a mauling from like a wild animal, or.
No. You. Let's see. You would see that. What is Taro's cunning?
9.
9? Okay. You would see that, or you would note that the number one, the eyes, you can tell that they were not. A surgeon definitely did not remove them, but you see that it was some type of sharp implement.
Okay, so a weapon or a tool was used, not a claw or something.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so a weapon or a tool. Okay. I'll point out to Cabello. Look here. See, it looks as if we're definitely not dealing with supernatural. This is the work of a fiend with a weapon or a tool.
Cabello, as you look, with your expertise, you would actually note that the eyes would have had to have been removed with something. That someone who would have some skill with a short blade dagger.
A spoon.
Not a spoon.
Oh, sorry.
Short blade dagger.
A spork.
Yeah.
A short bladed dagger. I see. I'll pass this information on to my companions. Yes.
Okay. A dagger.
And
short-bladed dagger.
Short-bladed dagger.
You guys see that there is a bruising of sorts on the victim's forehead.
Okay. Bruising on the forehead. Does it look to be in the shape of, say, a weapon or of a hand? Or, did it leave bruising of like fingers or of a weapon?
It looks like that symbol.
Oh, there's a...
Where are we?
A symbol.
Okay,
shit.
In the general chat.
Okay. Holy cow.
Something, it's like an indentation. That's what it is, basically.
Okay. Does any of us know this symbol?
I would say no. You guys don't have anything in your
that's in the forehead, eh?
Skill set that you would recognize immediately.
It's it's not a tattoo though, or a paint.
No.
It's not been painted on, or it's an indentation. Okay.
It's
something that was forced, that was basically pressed or smashed. I mean, something that basically got punched into his forehead with enough force that it left a
Holy
bruise,
shit. Gotcha.
like that.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not like a hole in his.
No, it's not. It's just a.
It's just like the shape of a mace, like the head of a mace or something.
Like a
maybe.
punch. Yeah, like something.
Okay.
Could be. Yeah, it could be. Could be.
Okay. Yeah, we are definitely not dealing with supernatural. So
I
that
didn't forget about you, Dale. Hang on.
I can definitely handle anything of mortal. I fear not anything that wields a weapon.
We shall see. We shall see.
Okay.
At this point, I there's not much else I need to see. I mean, we now know that they're wielding a short weapon. They've got some kind of punch or hammer. We need to look for an individual or individuals who carry these types of things, I think. What do you think, Cubella? Cubello.
I agree. I agree.
Where is that damn Shig? And I'll turn wondering where Shig went.
Okay.
We should find him, I think.
I believe so.
You guys hear some talking, getting louder, some voices, someone's coming up the corridor, and someone sounds kind of agitated, and you hear, but Father, I was told that they were here as per your convenience. Why? How was I to know otherwise? And you hear an older male voice say, that there are individuals in Blackmoor who don't have our best interest in mind. You should have asked me first. This is inexcusable. And the door opens up, and you guys see the priest, the head priest there, Father Abe, and he's standing there, eyebrows all a bristle, and face red,
Yes.
and he roars. He says, "What's the meaning of this? Who are you?"
Calm yourself, Father Abe. We have come to investigate this poor man's. What has happened to this poor man?
He strides over to the body, and kind of looks at it just to, give it a quick once over to see that there was nothing else done,
Mm-hmm.
And then he turns and he says, "On whose authority?" He says, "Who do you work for?"
We are trying to solve these mysteries, Father Abe.
With whose authority? I say again.
I look at Cabello. Do we dare?
Don't stand there with your mouths agape like pals. Speak up. And the acolyte is like, "Father, please,
So
excited."
I'll look at Father Abe and I say, "Well,
I'm sure everyone is distraught. We must relax for a moment and gather our thoughts and our emotions. Please, is there not some tea we could have?"
yes."
He sputters. He says, "Tea." He says, "I'll call the guard now and have you both put in shackles."
Oh, now, Father.
Yes.
Yes. Cabello, what are you saying, you
Well,
fool?
someone should be.
Father, we will take our leave now, and I bow, and out head for the door.
Okay, all right. He says, out on the streets with you. He says, "I'll have no more of this this madness. You desecrating the defenseless bodies of the dead." He says, I will speak to Erebus about this and have this looked into. This is not acceptable.
You should, Father Abe. Yes, and before we're out, right, stepping out of the temple. I will turn and say, "And here is a thaler to the church," and I will hand him a thaler. This should help.
Okay,
the coffers of the Prios of Father Prios.
As you put the thaler in his hand, his mouth kind of drops, and he kind of looks, and he says, "And now bribery."
You misunderstand. It is a donation to the temple, Father.
So
Donation.
you guys know that Egli. I know I'm throwing names at you guys, but don't worry about it. But Eglio Erebus is basically the he's not the Baron, but he's more or less, I guess I would have to say, almost like the sheriff, you know.
Okay.
So he resides in the keep that's here.
Okay.
Yeah. So he threatens you guys, you know, with incarceration basically as you guys walk out, and you guys hear the father. He's sputtering and you know, Price will have to save your souls if I catch you. You know, in the innards of the temple again without my blessing. And you guys hear
Taro, as he backs away, he's making the signs of the church. And, calm down, Father Abe. Calm down.
Okay.
You back away into the street. I look around for Shig and any evidence that he may have left a breadcrumb, of sorts. Breadcrumb trail.
Odell, yeah. What is this? And what is this? Yeah. What kind of clue would Shig have left?
Oh, criminy!
Well, if they're down, if they're downwind from me,
come within 10 feet of.
If they're downwind from me, it shouldn't be a problem. But that's what I was saying earlier about leaving signs or whatnot. They may have to look because they're, you know, but being around my company, you would have seen me do this in the city somewhat. You know what I mean? Maybe. Yeah. But you could probably recognize my stench or my smell using the excrement make signs and symbols as I go.
Well, I am a ranger, so I'm an expert at tracks and scat. So I figure I can follow him pretty easy.
Because we greet each other like dogs anyway.
Yeah. Look, it's Shig scat. This way. This way.
Wow. Okay.
No, I'm dead serious.
Seriously, I'm going to look. I need, you know, I'm going to look for
there, Cabello. See the way his right foot is twisted out at an odd angle. That is from the troll smack that is left over. So he's got one foot now that's like this.
Exactly. And
there he is in the mud. See that, Cabello?
I'm looking for Fingal or Shark. And or one of the other goblins.
Fingal
or Shark.
Crunk is who you're looking for.
Crunk?
Crunk.
Okay.
K-R-U-K. K-R-U-K.
Well, with my leg, I am Crunk, but.
And he, you know that he holds high favor because he is one of the. What was the tribe that I said?
The Karabadok?
Oh, yeah.
Karabada?
Yeah,
Karabada tribe. Yeah. They're like the basically the goblin tribe of these parts around here.
And so when I'm going to the mill because I know that's where they're working and that's where you got things, and I'm looking for any kind of markings on the way there. Okay, so I'm following. That's all I've been doing. Okay. So you guys can hunt me down. All right.
Oh, okay. All right. So you hear the signs or you hear the sounds rather of axes, you know, and sawing way before you get there. And then you detect like in the air kind of like and I'm watching the time, guys. We'll have to end with this scene basically. You I think it's you smell like the strong pungent odor of tree sap, you know, because there's such a concentration of it here. You can actually smell it in the wind, okay?
Wow.
Or in the air, I should say. And as you approach, you just see workers basically running to and fro, processing these logs. Basically, you see these large, like wide and long wagons pulled by like these strong horses, you know, coming in, dropping off these logs, and then the wagons being filled up with processed lumber, basically, and I'm hauling them out, and this is just an ongoing process. And you see that, yes, you are amongst your kind. You see that there are goblins here, and they are running to and fro. And yes, you see Kruk standing there on a bucket.
He's the
pointing,
taskmaster.
Yes, giving orders. Yes.
Okay. I take some scat and throw it in his direction to get his attention. And when I come up to him, no, I'm serious. And then that way I can get his attention.
I know.
Great. But I'm keeping out of direct line, and I wave to him like, come here,
Okay. All right.
I let him see me enough to recognize who I am.
Okay. All right. He looks, and you see he raises his snout basically in the air, and takes a big whiff, and then he hops off the bucket after looking around for a moment, and then starts moving your way.
Okay, I'll retreat somewhat into the recesses of the area that I met for a little privacy, and wait till he gets there and
okay,
put him in. What is going on here?
He says
they're blaming the goblins for the death of an archmage. Is that so? I look at him expecting.
He kind of looks at you up and down, and he says, so Shig, you finally decided to show your face around these parts, eh?
Yes, that's what I'm here for. I've been gone for a while, but things have changed, and I sniff around and look at the air, adjust our situation, privacy, and I pull him a little closer. I need to know now. There's blood cloaks out, and word. I've heard word that they suspect the goblins. Your men here from the meal. I saw at the bleached skull, claiming goblins were murderers. You watch for ones that would get after you here as well. Some of your workers.
He says, yes, unfortunately, the rumors have it that goblins have something to do with the murders. He says, but that's only because of what they find by the bodies.
What do they find by the bodies?
He looks around, and you see he takes a finger and flicks the scat up that you threw, and he basically puts it up under your nose, and he says, "This, you fool, this."
Okay, I back up away from it. I don't necessarily like the smell of my own scat.
Nice.
But so my nostrils flare a little bit. Yeah, who does? I mean, my nostrils flare a little bit, and I back up.
Mm-hmm.
Is this true? Is this true?
He
Are there?
He shrugs and he says, there's no way to misidentify it. He says, we all know it. He says, and they have found it. And
now,
huh?
My talent. I mean, when I speak to another goblin, what is that? They have to divulge information. So I grab him by his freaking flannel lapels and shake him around a little bit, and names. I need names now.
He says, names of what? Names of who?
The murderers.
I'm
the murderers.
He says, he shrugs and he says, I don't know the who did this.
And you're over all the goblins here.
He says, what? He says, what? You think we did it now as well? You think we're murderers too, just like the humans? You've hung around them too long. Their ways have rubbed off on you. He tries to kind of shake loose of your grip. I knew there was a reason you didn't come around anymore.
Okay, I'm backing up at him, looking at him curiously. So you say that the goblins are not murdering, but if we find their scat there at the bodies?
He says, no, not at all the bodies, just some of them.
So are we being used as patsies? Someone to blame for this? Okay, I step back curiously and scratching my head, trying to put two and two together. Silently step back a couple to look at him and kind of nod and understand.
He says, goblin gold is not hard to find if one knows where to look. Meaning the scat.
Yeah, and I nod and turn on my heel and try to rush back to let the others know.
Okay, so you just
these injustices. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So he scratches. You see, as you turn, as we leave that scene, Kruk is scratching his head, looking at you as you just turn on your heel and bolt away. And he shrugs and walks back over and gets back up on his bucket and starts taskmastering again,
Giving orders.
Okay. Right, giving orders again. Okay.
He's the shop steward.
Yeah, pretty
the
much.
foreman.
Yeah. The foreman. Yeah,
yeah.
The foreman. Okay. So as Shig is making his way back towards where the other two guys are walking or moving as Taro's kind of tracking you, you see that Shig, as you come around the corner, you see that there are a group of the blood cloaks, the mercenaries, standing there with their hands on their weapons, basically, and they have intercepted Taro and Caballo. And you hear one of the mercenaries say, by the orders of, or on the orders of the Lord of, or the Sheriff of Blackmoor, they say, lower your weapons now, and we're gonna end it right there.
Nice. Nice.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So that way we can remember where we're at.
Yep. Awesome.
Freaking using my kin and scapegoats.
We did pretty good. We learned more about the bodies, the victims.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We found
I'll
out
try to just
the goblins may or may not be involved, right? That's cool. Sweet.
We're being used as scapegoats, man. Putting the blames.
My money's on the goblins.
Bodies.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. I wouldn't doubt if they were running around up to no good. So yeah, we'll try to wrap it up. The next session, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys actually put a pretty decent dent in it, and and we'll go from there.
All right,
so good
awesome.
job.
We got a
Yeah.
I mean, y'all shouldn't have drawn so much attention to yourself. You got to keep the shadow. You learn anything from me.
That's what I get. Too much following your twisted tracks and your scat. I didn't see the blood robes coming. Right.
Right.
Kevin Spacey running around there with my leg turned to the left.
Right.
Kaiser
the
Soze.
usual suspect. Yeah, the usual suspect is right.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys enjoyed
the usual suspects.
Oh, we did.
It turns out it's us. We're the usual suspects.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that's funny. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll have to pick this back up and see what happens.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm not letting my con get it on. That's
That's funny.
Well, Dale, with you, we never know what may happen. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
I mean,
we know he's
something's
gonna wipe mud and filth on him. We know he's gonna throw
Poop on
scat. So we got a pretty good idea of that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay.
That's
Awesome.
Yeah, it's good character.
All right,
Very cool.
Okay, guys.
All right.
All right.
Thank
you
you, guys.